A podcast? Did your radio show get canceled?
Fire. Low down and filthy, but the discipline is on point. Schooled myself, made my own dojo. A cold flow with the whole dose of soul. Maintain composure, even in theory. An anomaly, properties undiscernible to mere peasants.
This week on the Pete the Planner Show, we talked to Janet. She's 27 years old, just hustled to save for emergency fund. They just moved into a house. They've got a lot of free cash flow. They want to know what to do next. Seems like some overachievers really hustling on a lot of things. She joined us now. Hello, Janet.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you? Are you an overachiever? It seems like you're doing a great job.
I don't think I'm an overachiever, but I like to budget.
You know who says that? Overachievers. Okay, so tell us about your situation. How old are you? We said you're 27. You're married. You have kids. Like, tell us what's going on.
Okay, so I'm 27. I got married 11 months ago, so about a year ago, and we were both living in one-bedroom apartments, so we had kind of minimal savings. So once we did get married, we really worked hard to build our emergency fund and save for a down payment, and we're very focused on that. And now we've done both those things, and we're kind of at a point where we have this extra money and we don't know what to put it towards, like if we should up our retirement savings or if we should have a bigger emergency fund or just kind of where we should put all the different what places put it in.
Sure. Well, let's look at your numbers. Frank, can you pop those up for me? There we go. Your annual income as a household is $111,500. How does that break down for the two of you?
My husband makes $60,500, and I just got a raise, and I make $51,000.
Awesome. Your net monthly income is $6,100. You've got $53,000 and change saved for the long-term retirement. $1,000 or so a month going towards that. And then your current savings account balance, your current emergency fund is $11,500. I would assume that is, again, your emergency fund left over after you made your down payment on your home, right?
Yes.
So that's great. How were you guys able to not only save for down payment on home, but get this emergency fund? I got to assume it's because you lived pretty lean on the incomes you had?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely tried to live off just my husband's income and then save all of mine, and we rented a cheap house in the meantime and made it work.
Any children involved in this situation?
No.
Any dogs or cats?
We have 2 cats and a dog.
Oh, my gosh. Don't tell me their names, because then, they would need fake names. We start giving people's pets fake names, and then the show gets out of control. So if you self-evaluate your short-term stability, your long-term stability, and your mid-term stability, where do you put yourself? Like, do you think you're stable for the short term?
Yeah, I definitely feel stable. Yeah.
Do you think you're?
But I just feel like we could be doing more.
Well, you know who says that? Overachievers. What was your major in college? Now I need to know.
That is nonprofit management.
Nonprofit management. Is that the field you're in?
Yes.
Well, that worked out. Like an overachiever. What is your long-term stability? I mean, what do you think about putting $1,000 a month away? You've got 50-some thousand away. Do you feel stable from the long-term perspective?
Yeah, we were talking about this last night. Like, we don't necessarily have some big dream of retiring really early, so I'm not trying to, retire by 35, so I feel good about how much we're putting away. I think we do want to have kids in the near-ish future, so I just don't always know that we'll be able to put as much away, so I don't know if we should front-load it. Yeah,
that's super interesting. Do you think one parent will stay home with the child? Do you think I know that's like not only the $1 million question, but it's also a really difficult one to try to predict. Do you have a plan for that?
We're not sure, but I think I'd also like to right now set it up so that we have that flexibility if we decided we want to do that. But obviously we don't know at this moment. So
let's look at your $1 million day. Nicole, if you would pop that up for us. Your $1 million day right now, Janet, is May 30th of 2039. May 30th of 2039. So basically 21 years from this month, right? Not too shabby, just before the age of 50. Now, the crazy thing is you will, at retirement at age 67, at this current pace, doing nothing else other than exactly what you're doing now, you'll have $5.1 million at age 67, $11,870 a month of income. But after inflation, that will feel like $4,421 a month in today's dollars. So how do those numbers strike you?
That's more than I thought it would be, actually.
Yeah, it's not bad. If I'm you, here's how I would try to evaluate that. You have a take-home pay of whatever you said, 6,000 something. But we just said that your equivalent after inflation would be like $4,400. So you kind of have to say, would we want to live on the equivalent of $4,400 today in retirement? Mind you, you obviously have the potential of Social Security at that point in time too, and you are probably going to invest more over time as time goes on, as your incomes go up. I mean, that all seems pretty darn stable if you ask me.
Okay.
Like, I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the question becomes, what midterm goals and aspirations do you have that could use some money and use some attention? So you just bought a house, so that's you're not going to be the people that are like, okay, well, this is our first house, but we're moving in 2 more years. Like, you're there for a little while, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how long do you think you're there? I don't want to put ideas in your head there, but are you staying for a while?
Yeah, we have 3 bedrooms, so we feel like we could stay there at least 10 years.
Sure.
I don't think it would be like our forever house, but we definitely plan to stay there at least 7 or 10 years, I'd say.
Anybody going back to school or anything like that? The people that currently live there?
I don't think so.
You don't want like a second house. I mean, there's nothing. You want to start a business? Any of these things? Like, it doesn't seem like there's a lot going in the midterm. So, right? Kind of boring midterm, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, honestly.
You actually kind of want a boring midterm, to be honest. It's the midterm that gets expensive and messes you up. So, all right. So are you putting anything else in your savings account on a monthly basis right now, or is it sort of topped at 11.5? And where's that extra money going right now if you're not putting it towards savings?
Well, I mean, honestly, this came at a good time because we just kind of got to that point. Like, we bought the house in February and had been putting that money in up until then. And then just with the move and everything, we honestly didn't save any money the last 2 months.
Right.
It's been so crazy. So, this is our first month with the mortgage, and we have been putting in $1,500 a month. But that's kind of my question is, do I keep putting that in emergency, or where do I put that?
Yeah, this is super interesting. Super interesting. Okay. Are you what's the retirement contributions? Are they going into employer-sponsored plans, or any of them going into Roth IRAs or anything like that?
Well, they're both going to 403Bs right now, but with nothing in an IRA.
Interesting. You've got one car loan at $315 a month. It's got 4 years left on it. And then there's a health question that we're going to get to, but I think it's important. A health insurance question. You have an HRA, and your husband has a PPO. Or you've got a health reimbursement account, not an HSA, right?
Yes.
And then your husband potentially could switch to a high deductible health insurance plan through his employer, save him about $3,000 a year, but he's nervous about leaving a PPO, which most people are. How's his health? Weird question of the day.
His health is good. He's 30. I don't use the doctor pretty much ever. I go for my yearly checkup. I'm a very low user. He's probably a little bit more of a user than me, but he doesn't have like any medical issues. He's just a little more likely to go to the doctor if he's not feeling well.
He's a wuss of a man, and when he gets a cold, he can't work for 2 weeks. Oh, I know people like that. Well, I mean, here's the thing. The younger and healthier you are, and the more you are proactive with your health, the more a high deductible healthcare plan makes sense. Like, if you've got a lot of family history, or if you've got a chronic condition, and you're currently using a lot of medical care, an HDHP can still make sense, but it's a little bit more of a stretch. If he's a good healthcare consumer, and by the way, I don't mean consumes a lot of healthcare, but one that is sensitive about the amount of healthcare he uses, and he's proactive, I would absolutely switch to a high deductible health care plan with an HSA attached to it, because then you're going to get a tax deduction. You're going to get all sorts of things. You get to keep the money. I would definitely do that.
Okay.
I mean, this might not change his mind, but that's what I would do.
He likes to hear things from experts, so it might help.
Well, you know what? We should call one after this. No, okay, I'm kidding. Here's what I think. I think you got a couple options. Like, how much a month are we talking about that if you're saying, hey, Pete, this is the amount of money we can do something with to address our financial priorities on a monthly basis. What is it? How much?
It's around $2,000.
$2,000 a month. Mm-hmm. Oh, the pressure. Okay, here's what I would do. I would max out Roth IRAs. Okay, so, that was a fun sound. I didn't know what that was. I would max out Roth IRAs a month, which is $458 per person per month. Because not only will that help with retirement, it'll give you tax-free income in retirement, but if you needed to, you could always use that money for college education as well. So it's a great sort of multi-purpose savings instrument right now. Plus, it gives you tax status diversity in retirement. So I like that idea. And then the question is, what do you do with the other $1,200? Because the last thing you want to do is to become dependent on, by growing your lifestyle of that other $1,200. There's a lot of this because you just got a raise too, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Man, this is interesting. I mean, the world is your oyster right now. This is an amazing situation. You kind of can't do wrong and unless you start taking on all sorts of obligations. What's your gut feeling tell you guys to do?
Well, I definitely felt like I wanted to put more in retirement. I also kind of have like an irrational hate of the car loan.
Oh, my. Is it his car loan?
Yeah.
I knew it. Oh, my gosh. It's like I've done this for 20 years. That's hilarious. What's the interest rate on it? Do you happen to know?
It is 3.64%.
I mean, look, you could pay it off fast. You got 4 years left. So what's he owe? Like $15,000 on it?
Yeah, $15,000.
I mean, I don't know if I'd aggressively pay it off. You could double your payment. I don't know if I would consider that aggressive, given that you have $2,000 to throw at it.
Okay.
I think you could stand, especially if you think of, oh gosh, I have all sorts of loaded questions for you today. Do you think, I'm getting nervous about this question I'm asking you. Do you think it's possible that your family begins to grow within the next 5 years?
But will we have kids in the next 5 years?
Well, yeah, I don't mean you bring another person into the marriage. That's a little creepy.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, yeah, we'll definitely have kids in the next 5
okay,
years.
I was trying to be discreet, Janet.
Sorry.
Then you made it creepy. Okay, so if that's the case, you said yes. I would consider increasing your emergency fund. So
Okay.
because I think if you're going to take any time off of work, you've got to pay for the cost of the pregnancy and the delivery and all of that. It wouldn't kill you to have another 10 grand or so set aside prior to having a child.
Okay.
For time off and just kids stuff. So here's how I look at this situation. I would absolutely max out your Roth IRAs. I would both get a Roth IRA and max them out. That's basically $900 a month. You got $1,100 to go. I would double your payment to the car payment. So that adds another $300. So that gives you $800. And then I would save $800 a month, which basically saves 10 grand over the course of a year.
Okay.
That's exactly what I would do. And I would also, I mean, if we're just changing everything around, I would switch his healthcare plan. Again, as long as there's no chronic conditions, I would change it to a high deductible healthcare plan and then contribute that extra $3 grand into an HSA.
Okay.
Man, I feel like we tackled so much today. And it was such a short period of time. What else? Like, ask me anything. I'm on a roll. I'm on fire.
Okay. I guess, it's kind of the same question as the car payment, but at any point, should we, like, we have a 30-year mortgage, which I know how you feel about that, but should we at any point try to make higher payments on that? Should we just
You can
write it
round,
out?
yeah, you can round up if you want. What's the interest rate?
4.3%.
I mean, it's okay. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. Not right now, at least not until you get another 10 grand in savings. But after, next year, if you want to switch that 800 to your mortgage, have at it. But then again, maybe let's say you have a baby a year from now, maybe that $800 a month goes to start a college fund. Let's say you have a baby 2 years from now. Then maybe you put money towards a house and then it switches to the college fund. You just need sort of this flexibility, that comes with these decisions. The other thing is you want to make sure that I like a singular focus. I like to focus on one thing at a time because otherwise it can feel overwhelming. But the way your situation's set up, because you're overachievers, this is a really nice little situation. Is he as financially astute as you?
Yeah, I think money is like our number one thing that we get along on.
What do you not get along on? The Avengers?
We both like the Avengers.
Oh. Yeah, don't.
I don't know.
Yeah, don't disclose. Don't disclose what you don't get along with. You're newlyweds. It's not good to go on public media and say what you disagree with. What else? Anything else? Do you guys have a will? Yeah. Do you have life insurance? What do you got going on there?
Well, that was another question. So, my husband's life insurance is for $80,000, and
80,000.
Yeah.
80,000 what? Dollars?
$80,000. Yeah.
What? Well, don't let that guy die.
And I think I think I have life insurance through work. I don't even know.
Oh my
gosh. So I guess the question is how much life insurance we should have because we don't have any really.
Janet, this just went so far downhill. At $80,000, like that guy is he in a bubble? He should be a bubble boy. If he's got $80,000 of life insurance, he can't die. Don't let him leave the house. I mean, it's weird, right? Because you don't want so little that like, everything goes downhill if that dude dies.
Yeah.
Or you don't want so much that you're like, hey man, why don't you take up rock climbing? You can't take it that other way. I don't know. I mean, you probably both need $500,000 each. I would get a 20-year term policy, $500,000 each. You could probably get a joint term. It might cost you maybe $50 a month.
Okay.
And you got to do it through a separate insurance agent. Forget your group plans. Whoever has your property and casualty. Have you guys combined auto and home? Of course you have, because you have a home, right? So it's all together, right? Mm-hmm. Just call that person. I want a 20-year term policy on both of us, $500,000 each. It costs you like $55 or something like that.
Okay.
$80,000. Get out of here with that. It's crazy. Yell at him when he gets home. Nothing like me starting a fight amongst newlyweds. Wouldn't be the first time.
He wants you to know he has a call-in to up it, but he didn't say for how much.
Yeah. Okay. And then what you don't have a will. I mean, there's no way you have a will.
No, we don't.
So look, I mean, you probably need one, but at this point, I wouldn't put a ton of money into that. You will definitely want to do it before having kids. If it makes you feel better, go to LegalZoom or something like that. An online situation in which you can pay $75 and get something. Really, at this point, two young people, it's actually an awful thing I'm going to talk about. You don't have to react to it. But it's essentially if someone gets majorly injured or incapacitated, it's like who can make decisions for that person? That's what legal work matters for two young people with no kids. Like your money is going to go to the other person. That's not the issue. It's who can make decisions about me if I can't make decisions for myself. That's what I would be concerned with.
Okay.
God, that's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm a good time. That's why I never get invited to parties, Janet. The thing is, I've become this introvert off the air. Some people don't believe me. Like, I talk so much, like keynoting things, and I don't want to talk when I'm not working. So I guess that's why I don't get invited to parties. Have you ever been to a silent disco? Have you heard of these sorts of parties?
No, I've been to something kind of similar, and it was really weird.
We're headphones, and everyone's listening to music, the same music sometimes it's different, and you're dancing, and no one's talking. In my estimation, perfect party. Because you don't have to talk to anybody, and you have a good time, you can have some drink,
That's true.
Anything else I can answer? Because, again, like I said, this might be the best show we've ever done.
Oh, I listened to a different one today, and I felt like I was doing a really bad job. So
Really? Yeah, you're doing great.
7-year-old on your show, and she had way more money in retirement than I did.
How old was she? 27?
Yeah.
I think you said 7. I was like, who? I did a 7-year-old on my show? That's creepy too. No, I think you're doing fine. I think the way I view this is you've got a very flexible situation. If you self-evaluation is super important. Short-term stability, absolutely. Long-term stability, yes. Especially given that you're going to put more away than you currently are, and it's still okay. Midterm, there's just no issue. So that's why I think you take this $2,000 a month and you almost front load the midterm with the Roth IRAs, with the $10K for the kids, and get rid of the car payment. Like, I love your situation. I would have loved to have had this situation at 27.
Well, my mom will be proud.
Well, she might be, unless she dislikes me. Okay, that's good. I'm done if you're done.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
All right, go play with your cats and the dog. Give them equal love, because at this point in time, I'm not really ready to ruin this episode by calling you a cat lady or anything like that or anything derogative. So I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for calling.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. That's it this week for the Pete the Planner show. That felt pretty good. Nicole, can you kill that mic? There we go. I got nervous because you never know. We kill someone's mic when I say goodbye to them, but we don't want them to be like, oh, that sucked. Right? We don't want them to say that when we think we hung up on them. So that's why we kill the mic. Nicole, how was that? That was pretty good, right?
That was a pretty good one.
I don't know what's happening. Do you like the part where I said, are you going to bring someone into your marriage? That was really unsightly.
Sometimes I'm glad that they can't hear me.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey,
just so you know, if you're listening to this show right now, you may notice some changes to the podcast in the coming weeks. Exciting stuff to come. Stay tuned. If you have questions, you can always email us. Ask Pete at PeteThePlanner.com. That's Ask Pete at PeteThePlanner.com. Some changes to come, my friends. That's it for this week. Go do something else.
If you want to be on this podcast and have Pete fix your money life, then hit us up at PeteThePlanner.com/podcast. You heard me. PeteThePlanner.com/podcast. Log on.
This is for information purposes only. It's not the Swiss financial planning device. Consult a financial advisor.
Released from Everest, the fresh is fresh, and you can call me E.T. Word to John Tesh. Let me bless this harmonic presentation. It's amazing, so amazing. I'm the reason. Salutations, I bring you love, trying greetings from a faraway land. I am the sole controller. Put the remote down and let me take control. You're now a part of my zone, so enjoy yourself. Love Tron can restore your health. I bring you greetings, salutations. How you doing? And is that how y'all say it? The tinkling of the keys is an homage to the little star. I sojourn over poetic descriptions of sound and travel to my other world. Out of this world, spaceship on my arm took me home, fueled by the ink and the megabytes and the hypertext transfer protocol, stronger than the Skynet and the Terminator. I push faders into warp speed, glide with ease, creating a breeze they call a black hole. Event horizon, no rear view concerns. This I adjourn, and beats I burn. This I adjourn, and beats I burn. Salutations, I bring you love, trying greetings from a faraway land. I am the sole controller. Put the remote down and let me take control. You're now a part of my zone, so enjoy yourself. Love Tron can restore your health. I bring you greetings, salutations. How you doing? And is that how y'all say it?